Hey all, thanks for waiting. I have my tea and I'm ready to go. Hello, and welcome again to another episode of the Hold On Guys podcast. I'm your host, Roy of Royseph Streams. You can find my information by typing Royseph Streams into any major social media outlet such as Linktree, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. I just want to say before we begin that it has been said that I am the tallest member of this podcast. I'm not saying that I am, I'm just saying that others have said it. It may be true, but I didn't say it. And
the AI also told us.
Indeed, it did. Moving on.
And I told it was wrong, and it said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're right." Roy isn't the tallest one in the podcast.
Just saying. I'm just saying that other people have said it.
Suck it, Roy.
I am joined today by returning contributors John and Dayton and newcomer Josh. Josh, would you like to tell us all a little bit about yourself?
I suppose, since I'm contractually obligated. Hello, I'm Josh. I am a PhD student at the University of North Carolina, living in North Carolina, joining you in the evening just as my kids have fallen asleep. So I'm trying not to talk too loud. Otherwise, you will hear them screaming at me at any moment. So I apologize in advance.
Cool.
Totally fine.
All right, so
my baby right now is literally in my lap drinking milk. I get that. Yeah.
Once the running starts, then the punching and the messes. Yeah. Enjoyed.
Okay.
So how's everyone's week going? Anything good going on? Anything bad? Anything you want to discuss?
I keep cleaning and fixing things and building. I've become a father now. Actually, wait, has that been announced on this podcast?
No.
Okay, yes. I'm a father now. I've been gone for 2 months, and I now have a wonderful little girl. Yay!
Daddy Dayton has joined the pod.
Oh, that sounds so wrong.
But yes, so right.
Anyways,
So I'm Batman.
So, yeah, I've, in the
Add
past...
that to the soundboard.
Yeah, in the past month, I want to say, I have, fixed... Let's see. I fixed the freezer. I've built a small greenhouse.
Oh.
I've fixed a mini can sealer that we use to seal her milk. We do all formula feeding for her because it just didn't work out with breastfeeding. That's okay. And so I had to come up with a whole system of how to pretty much use boiling water and seal it to reduce any possible growth of bacteria in her food. It's been crazy.
Been checking your ESPN scores.
I was going to say, someone's fantasy team got a notification.
I was like, do I seem like the person who has a fantasy score thing? Because, hell no. I just talked about fixing... Well, actually, yeah.
True. I must say, I feel a little bit called out. I barely fixed dinner this week.
Wah, wah.
But I did want to ask, are there any father tropes that you're leaning into besides the fixing that's going on?
Yes, there are. Let's see. What are they? Oh, thinking my kid's amazing. Just all the time, always. Originally thinking that they are way smarter than they are. I'm sure she's smart, right? But it's the whole oh, my perfect little baby.
My baby's a genius.
Yeah, literally, yes. Just because she started babbling about 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, this is happening way too soon. And so I sent a message to my sister, and who's a PA, and I was like, is this happening too soon? Because this is crazy to me. And she honestly gave me some of the most sarcastic remarks ever, which love her for that. Yeah, she was like, yes, Dayton, you should... This is by text, by the way, so I have no idea the tone of voice, but she was like, yeah, you should totally contact the... what are they called? Book of Guinness World Records for earliest talking baby or something. I was like, when you send a text with sarcasm, you should really start with /S or something.
Ooh, hold on, guys. I disagree entirely with that statement.
Do you know what?
I don't think you should start everything with an S. This is an intimate person, I feel like tone can
also
be
that is in and of itself probably also a bit sarcastic towards my sister. So it's sarcastic, rolled into sarcasm, but yeah, it was just really funny.
Well, maybe it's because
How-
I've been building too many Amazon
Warhammer minis,
shelves and all that stuff. But
Oh,
for the I wish. As for the greenhouse, did you have to install the windows like a certain way? Do they only trap the light if they only go a certain way?
So let's see. Funny enough, I got a because I really wanted to do it as cheaply as possible and kind of like put it in our kind of screened-in porch.
Okay.
Because really, what like we have a couple $100 at this point worth of plants,
Which
that
I will
we don't want to
step
keep
in to
inside.
say briefly. You also built that screened-in porch, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh well,
Ooh.
no, I designed
Okay.
the screened-in porch. Had a carpenter put in the wooden frame, and then I screened it in. Like I did I forget
Okay.
what the brand is, but essentially
You did significant labor in design of your porch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I wanted to trying to minimize costs and whatnot. So, anyway, but yeah, I built this greenhouse, but really it's like a PVC shell that
Okay.
you can buy on Amazon for like $50, but it comes with like really fragile, like thin metal tubing with PVC corner connectors. And all the reviews for
okay.
them were like, this thing couldn't even survive a storm. This thing, blah 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 blah.
So it's PVC connectors and then some cheap metal between it.
It's a PVC like tarp shell.
Oh, interesting.
Tarp.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tarp, honestly.
Okay.
But it's like greenhouse shaped. And yeah, that was like $27. And then I priced out some wood, and I made like a little. There's this website called Tinkercad where you can like build 3D structures for free and whatnot. Anyways, yeah, I pretty much designed it in there and estimated how much wood I would need to buy, to where it cost, in total cost, it was like probably $10 more than like buying the whole thing with the frame from Amazon, but it is significantly stronger.
I guess the real dad question is, how many friends did you make at Home Depot while you were there?
Oh gosh. So funny enough, I didn't make any friends, but
Enemies?
I will say the number of dads with like their little kids, just if you go in the middle of the day on a Sunday, was significant. Like I normally have not seen that many, but absolutely on a weekend, like seeing like the old dads or grandparents, like with their teenagers or infants, or like in my case, baby, like it was more than 20 to 30.
As a person who the closest Home Depot for me goes along the route I get to my church, I have been there on many a Sunday afternoon and gone like, man, I just am every one of these guys.
Right? Yeah, no, it's just, I used to be a Lowe's person, but yeah, due to recent circumstances, I was just like, you know what, fine, screw it, I'll just go to Home Depot, they're cheaper anyways. And
how many trips? Sorry, I was going to ask how many trips this took, but
honestly, it only took one trip, and I have two boards untouched that I can return.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice innovation.
To me, that sounded like a minimum, like a 3-trip
Absolutely.
project.
No, I'm telling you, man, like I planned this thing out in Tinkercad.
Yeah, you mentioned CAD. I've never known what that abbreviation actually is.
Oh, computer aided design.
I see. Thank you.
Josh,
Design the Lowe's in CAD.
to echo your little side comment from earlier, I do have a quote soundboard on my end, but I only have 3 things, and none of them is like appropriate to any. I have dramatic piano, drums, and ballpark, and I haven't used them yet. So you let me know who wants what at the
Well, hold on, guys.
That's amazing.
Fire up the ballpark, if you will.
All right, here we go. Oh
yeah.
Oh no, that's.
Let me just state a name real fast for you.
I'm gonna abuse the hell out of that, just like you know.
Exactly what I expected.
Showtime Shohei Ohtani in an 18-inning game. The it ties the longest since 2018 when the Dodgers were in the playoffs in the World Series for the longest innings. Shohei Ohtani went 4 for 4 in his at-bats at the plate. But an interesting thing about baseball is if you get a walk, that's not a plate appearance. Or rather, it's not at-bat, but it is a plate appearance. So 9 total plate appearances, 5 walks, 4 hits. Just a single person commanding the stage in October. And I have to talk about it as a baseball fan. It's never happened. It's wild.
I was like, that kind of reminds me of an ex-KCD comic of like every like
yes, what everyone thinks of when talking about baseball.
No, just like how it's like there's a historic like the first time of blah 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 blah, and like someone did that. They did it for like presidential elections.
Yes,
and it's like the first time that they had a presidential candidate without a mustache, or the first time that there was like a, and you can honestly just do it for everything. At the same time, I now just realize that this is incredibly negative towards something you like. So
no. I'm 100% with it. In fact, it reminds me of there is an old, long-standing Reddit thing on the baseball Reddit or subreddit, I should say, where whenever there's some obscure like stat that's never happened since like 1880s when it was played entirely differently, the entire sport. Like they're like, yes, tungsten, in a stat that has not been overcome since Tungsten Armo Doyle from 1901. And this is one of those things where you have to go back pre-World War II into 1942 for the most recent case of 9 times getting on base in the World Series for anyone, mostly because of the number of innings, but also he's a fucking pitcher doing all of this. He's a two-way player. It's never happened as much as Babe Ruth was a successful pitcher, then a successful slugger. He was never both things simultaneously. It's just an entirely new thing that he has put on.
That sounds like one of those woke things. 2 things at the same time. How dare you?
It is happening in LA.
Keep that off from the library. Anyways, what?
Well, it is happening in LA, so.
Mm-hmm.
This is what makes baseball the like dad sport, to kind of join these two things together, because it's like, who gets to show off the most random factoids and knowledge, and who is in a position to call BS on anybody else while they're doing it? No one. You just kind of nod and be like, yep. Unless you're, you Tinkercaded your way through the project, in which case
I was going to be like, dude, like freaking, if you guys don't want to talk sports and whatnot, I'm like, cool. And then I'll just be like in the background, like, oh, hey, that's a Lego piece. Sure is cool. Do. Like,
sports.
I tried to find a sport to get into. I honestly like, what was it? What was it I was going to try and like really get into at one point? I think it was going to be like soccer or F1 racing.
Awesome.
And I just couldn't. I don't know. I just did not catch my mind.
Dayton, are you an F1 person?
No, I tried to be.
Okay.
And I could not even for like a single race, like stay in it. And I was just like, okay, fine, just giving that up. Because, living in Florida, it's like, yeah, football. So I was like,
sure,
yay, football. But then,
particularly at Florida State,
yeah, really.
At some point,
and
it's
particularly
just like,
the years we were there,
man,
Jimbo Fisher as the coach.
The good old days.
Fisher? Oh gosh, you good old days? You mean the one with Jameis Winston?
Yes.
Yeah, the one with the alleged sexual assaulter.
Oh.
Yep. So
I didn't know that. Sadness.
Oh, you didn't know that? Was like the thing
part.
that was happening on campus all the
Everyone
time.
joked about the publics of it all, but no, the sexual assaults were.
Tallahassee got in Time magazine or something like that for after they looked through all the police reports of like how many bad things the cops just looked the other way for football players.
Yeah, there was one in particular, but it's one of these classic cases where someone later, after a lot of negative attention, recants, and the truth of it all is none of it looks good upon the then quarterback. But
The story that really got me, and it wasn't about the quarterback. It was about like how a cop pulled over some guy who had stolen a moped, or sorry, a player who had taken a moped, and the guy who owned the moped like called the policeman, like, "Hey, you know what? This is stolen, whatever." Cop pulled over the player and was like, "Oh yeah," and I guess they either talked about football or what, realized it was a football player, and just kind of went like, "All right, get on out of here," just like with a stolen moped.
That
Like,
sounds about right.
He got to leave with the
Yeah.
moped.
yeah.
I
Even better.
I never observed this, but I heard people talking about over the summer, because they would have to be there for practice scrimmages and things like that, that they really would get rowdy, and sometimes they would have like from dorm to dorm ongoing BB gun fights.
Jimmy Christmas.
And the folks who would complain about it would be the ones who would get some kind of reprimand from the FSU local police.
None of that sounds surprising in the slightest.
That all said, my brief sports segment, I appreciate you using for the first time our lovely soundboard, and that wouldn't have come to mind if the ballpark had not been mentioned. And I just, it's October baseball, y'all. Watch the World Series. Why not? Maybe Toronto wins. Go Canada.
And that... Oh, shit. I deleted it. I was going to say... I just deleted it right off the soundboard.
Oh my god!
Just
Perfect.
like, it's gone. I wanted to...
Well, folks,
I wanted to say
I've killed it.
that concludes the sports segment, but that concludes, I guess, all sports segments from now until the end of the podcast.
Hooray! Oh gosh, that came through in someone's
it
computer.
is something to cry about.
Yeah, it's Roy. Ooh.
So there's your new theme, right? Just whatever random sound came on your soundboard software.
Yeah.
That's what's next? Well, you said classical piano. I really can't help there.
Dramatic piano and drums, and I don't know if it's going to be like a drum roll or like I really hope it's the. Oh, hold on. I hope it's like the type of dealio. Here we go.
If the dramatic piano is what I think it is, I can do that.
All right. Okay. You will hear dramatic piano. No.
On my vacation, I was in the city of Chicago. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
But
Knock jokes with that one. I don't know. Yeah.
while I was there,
I'm gonna use it to punctuate
Dayton,
everything.
as one of our learned academians, I went to this Adler Planetarium and saw a very interesting little, I don't know if you would call it a documentary or just a film in the planetarium, but it was an incredible 360-degree panoramic view showing a program about finding the ninth planet, not Pluto, but far out beyond there. There has been a lot of data showing that the orbits of a pretty big cloud of debris that does orbit the sun, but is well past even Pluto, almost like a second asteroid belt. There is some thinking now that there might currently be a planet that is 250 AUs, so distance from the Earth to the sun, of distance away, something up to the size of near Neptune, that is pulling some parts of the solar system back toward it and causing some of the irregular orbits that they're seeing in this band of meteoroids and other things that's out at this distance, having these irregular rotations around the sun. So there may be, in the next decade, with enough time and enough telescopes pointed in the right direction, discovery of a true ninth planet with a nearly 3,000-year orbit of the sun.
Wow. It's wild.
Has anyone
You
else
could say
heard
it's
of this phenomenon?
Port of this
No.
universe.
Oh, what a cloudy day it has been, and you
Yep.
opened up like a ray of sunshine.
Yep, you're welcome.
Oh.
Port cloud. All right.
Yes.
I've heard of this. I decided
Daddy
to say
Dayton strikes again.
I hate it. I hate puns. I hate puns so much. Yeah, no. So, yeah, I have heard of this. It is really cool and exciting. It's, I mean, yeah, very hopeful. I think, yeah, it's going to be really cool just to see what they kind of come up with and see what happens. Maybe James Webb will be able to give us a better look, but honestly, James Webb is looking at so much else that
Yes.
yeah, it could be a while.
All right, boys. So I got a goofy prompt and a possibly fun prompt. What prompt do you want?
Possibly fun. I just because little sweetheart here is just having a hard time, so I might have to go
Okay.
early.
Okay.
Understand?
You're going to gamble on the possibly fun then?
Yeah,
Instead of the outright goofy? Okay. I mean,
Goofy was my pun. That's it. Goofiness over. Killed it. Took it out
Done.
to the back shed. Old
Who?
young bit. Who?
Oh, that was much better.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Oh, Mickey. Yeah.
all right. So do you want? So the fun one is we're going to rank 3 things and we're just going to talk about it, and so that could be going for a long time. So do you think that you're going to be on for like what's the Felicity situation like?
She is trying to fight sleep, but her eyes are getting closer and closer to closed.
All right. So here we go. I'm going to do potentially goofy and possibly awesome. All right. So what is the best phrase to hear from your significant other or your partner? What's the best thing that you get to hear from them say to you?
Fuck off.
I mean,
Being very honest, it is always hilarious whenever I hear her say that to me.
oh, okay.
Yeah, like
The
Yeah,
immediacy in which you said that, I was like,
what is it that whatever just always brings a smile to my face whenever
Uh-huh.
she says it to me? And I am gonna have to say it's whenever I get, because I can get like really clever retorts, and just at some point she'll just kind of look at me and be like, "Fuck off,"
okay.
and I love it.
Dayton, in honor of you, I will put a when she says it, if it were in text form, there would be a /s, and she just says, "Yes, dear," when I'm going way too long with the story or something like that, or explaining something she already very well knows, especially as a social worker. So that is my yes,
Wait, your
dear.
significant other is a social worker?
Yes.
Oh, that's so
Licensed
funny.
counselor, as well as has been a case manager and social worker, though she currently works for the Missouri Department of Rural Health.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't know that. Yeah, because that's what. Yeah, my wife is. Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
It requires a special breed to deal with us.
Yeah. Sorry. I said my apologies in a form of I have not asked you that before. So, or if you've said it to me before, I did not register it.
I'm very happy to talk about my girlfriend. I am a girlfriend guy, so I'm
Right.
always happy to talk about things like that.
Mr. Josh?
I've got to go with sure. You can go sit down and record a podcast with Roy and 2 other people at 7:30 at night, right when the kids are laying down for bed.
I was gonna say, what are the ages of your kids?
Say, Roy, what was that one soundboard again?
This one? Yep.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Fits better than the baseball one, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the baseball's gone. That's gone forever.
No, that's true. Yeah. Mine, to answer the question, mine are 9 and 3.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, a little bit of a gap.
No,
the
but
3
honestly, I like that. We're hoping that we might also have. I don't know about that much, but yeah, we're hoping to have a bit of a gap too.
Yeah,
For a second.
it's kind of cool because the older one can kind of look over the younger one to an extent, but also the younger one tries extra hard to keep up. And, he had his second trip to get stitches a couple weeks ago. In his short life, he's had a few injuries just doing too much.
I'm pretty sure I met him for the first time that day.
Yes. Yeah.
Or the day after.
Yeah, it was that weekend. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
As someone who's had plenty of stitches, well done. Yeah. Are any of these head injuries or?
Oh, and exclusively.
Yeah. How many?
I forget. 2 separate instances now. I forget the number of them. He dislocated his thumb. No, he broke his thumb out too. He's done that as well. So,
I have a collection of 3 or 4. I want to say 3 concussions, 2 of which being when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I hear that. I lived through it. And there's no measurable changes to my behavior. But
very subtle.
I will say that the 3 words that I love hearing from my wife is the best 3 words that I could possibly think of. You were right.
Well, no, and isn't that such an interesting thing in terms of because that's such a trope, right? Of way back when is yes, dear, or whatnot. But honestly, we both have had so many times where we'll just say, "Oh shoot, yeah, you're right about this or that," and it's okay, cool. So we don't have to revel in it. I don't know.
Right. So I told her about what I was going to say, and she gave me. I could feel her looking at me, even though I was looking in a different direction. But in all seriousness, when we do, just like you said, Dayton, when you get to that moment where you're like, damn it, fuck, yes, you were right. I'm sorry. And it's just kind of a haha, and it's not in I'm going to rub your face in it type of way. Yeah. But it does become pseudo joke and pseudo I'm sorry,
Yeah, exactly.
You could take sometimes you could take it a little far, and then it's super cute when she takes it a little far. She's like, "What was that? Ha 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 ha!" And yes, you were right. I'm sorry. And I think that is absolutely super duper fun, because I think anything that in a relationship where you and your partner have a secret, not a secret, not almost like an inside joke that to the outsiders looking in, they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys?" And oh, don't worry about it.
Sure.
It's that is top tier relationship status.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, let's see. Question to you all then, in terms of having watched this stand-up, not to take us too far off of topic. Have any of you guys watched it's Mike Birbiglia new one? It's about them having a kid.
Birbiglia, what was the name of it?
The new one.
Is he on a stage and there's a bunch of kids' toys around him?
At one point, yes, that is one of the kind of big surprises.
I thought there.
Honestly, that is such a beautiful and honest look at parenthood, of early parenthood. That and I love it, honestly, tremendously. But anyways, the reason why I brought that up was because he covers in there a story of someone did a really embarrassing wedding toast or something, and then he said he and his wife looked at each other and they're like, "We're going to be talking about this for the rest of our lives." So now it's always a phrase between the two of them.
Yeah.
And for Becca one time had an intern in social work who just would not listen to what she had to say, and would just always be like, I know. And so now just randomly, whenever we talk to each other, and it's sort of oh, hey, the dishwasher's acting up a little bit, and just turn to each other and be like, I know. And it's amazing. Anywho, so
I will say that. Sorry, go on.
No, that's it.
I was going to say that Mike Birbiglia doesn't always have the best jokes.
Oh no, not at all.
The way that he's able to tell a story within an even larger story is like masterwork level. Just it's phenomenal.
I think of him almost more of a humorist than like a stand-up comedian who's we think of them. Some of his stuff reminds me of one of the people who kind of popularized and was an icon as this was Samuel Clemens, known as Mark Twain. He would get up on a stage and have like humorous stories of his time, and there would be genuine laughter from the crowd, but also it was kind of just more storytelling than like rapid fire jokes or trying to get big reactions. I put Nick Offerman in a similar place with his comedy special.
Yeah.
I don't think of that as like a stand-up comedian, although it is the form of stand-up comedy that he's doing it in. But it is more like a humorist, and I find it to be not the same kind of shocking amount of laughter funny as some other comics. I think the first time I ever heard of Mike Birbiglia was from Fresh Air.
Oh, that's funny.
I have no experience with his work, so I have no thoughts on this. I am like looking him up now.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
For later viewing.
Yeah, he really, like, one of his best stories is that he has a very rare sleep. Yeah, Sorry, it's not about you this time, sweet baby girl.
Oh, but it always is.
Yeah, right. But he has a very rare sleep disorder where he does not get the body paralysis, so he will act out his dreams if push at any times, and this culminates in his life at one point by him jumping out of like second story window of a hotel
in Walla Walla, Washington.
Yeah, jumped out through the window in his sleep and just running. And then he wakes up mid-run being like, huh, what? And then he enters through the lobby door while the front desk is getting like a gazillion calls about it.
And, hearing you say it, I've heard it more than a few times. And hearing you talk about it, I will add that in addition to being a master storyteller, he also has a way of like Tarantinoing. Oh my god,
Tarantinoing.
Thank you. It's to the point where he'll like give you like the last 20 minutes. He gives you the last 10 minutes of the story, and then he'll go back in time and then give you a little bit more of the ending, and then he'll go back in time until he gives you the whole story, and then he runs through the whole story again, and then you put the last hour of his story all together like one giant Lego piece, and it's chef's kiss good.
Okay, I was worried about what direction you're going to go with that, because I was like, oh no, it sounds like it's just repeating the same. But yeah.
No.
In fact, if you ever want a 38-minute listen, there is the Fresh Air interview from 2010 that I listened to where I first heard about Mike Birbiglia.
What
it's
is
about
Fresh Air?
Sleepwalking with Me.
Don't know.
Sleepwalk with Me, the movie that he made about.
No. But what is Fresh Air that you're talking about?
Wait, what?
From NPR.
Do you not know NPR? What?
Are you not a donor?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
33 minutes in. Here we go. It's the Roast Roy session. Let's go. Here we go. Happens every episode.
He doesn't
Really?
have the tote bag.
We need to roast Roy? I didn't know about this.
Oh, I mean, that's what every episode has been so far. At some point, there's a good roasting of Roy.
So I assumed that you were a big NPR fan because the title of your podcast, is strikingly similar to an NPR comedy show.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
Wait, which one?
Wait, don't tell me.
Don't tell me. I don't feel like that's.
Oh, I will say that it did draw upon
inspiration.
I guess
it is derivative.
Yeah.
That does not
How dare we have
originally
humor as we talk to each
I
other?
have listened to Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Well, of course, Peter Sagal. It's fantastic.
What I want to know is, so I'm looking at, this comedian and okay, so he's on NPR talking about the film and it's, it's on his Wikipedia page that he has this disorder. If you have this disorder and it's widely known, like what could you do under the guise of
Again, I'm going to point to the hilarity that he talks about in his special, the new one,
Okay.
because he does detail out quite hilariously how they make sure, because they end up when they're pregnant and whatnot, they like end up going to a doctor and be like, yeah, so I have this disorder, what is that dangerous for the baby? And the doctor goes, oh yeah, like some people take the baby and they kick it over into the mantelpiece or something.
I had a dream. I was
Like, it's
kicking
like,
a field goal in the Super Bowl, and
Oh,
Yeah,
good lord.
and so
Yeah,
it's
okay,
like-
yeah.
yeah, just like absolute. And so like they have to do like this whole protocol with the baby, but it also means he cannot miss sleep at all.
Yeah.
Which, as a parent yourself, Josh,
Mhm.
like ha 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 newborn.
So he has just created his own personal hell by having this child.
Yeah.
Oh, I
First.
wouldn't say it's his personal hell. It's his wife's personal.
Yes. You know what? I'm considering the wrong person here. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, like honestly, and again, I would implore. Fine, then I'll even say to you, John, I will implore you to then watch that special because
Okay.
it's hilarious. It is a beautiful, hilarious look at like parenthood. In terms of for Josh, yeah, there is one that would agree with something Roy said. There is one segment that's a little, it's pretty gross about him going to Amsterdam one time. Take that what you may.
Excellent.
I don't remember
Well,
that, and I don't know.
Outside of that, it's
yeah.
pretty like I love that special, and like it's.
And
I think
where
it's
could the
great.
listeners stream or
I
perhaps
think it's
purchase this
Netflix
special?
probably.
Wonderful.
I mean, there's also like illegal sites, but
Just
We don't
Google
talk
it.
of those
mhm,
on
yep.
this official podcast.
You can just
Mhm.
Google it. Just Google it. Where to watch this thing, and it tells you.
Yeah.
That's what I do for everything.
Yeah, but absolutely cannot give it enough compliments in terms of just like the whole process of trying to get pregnant, getting pregnant, having the baby. Like it's a beautiful thing.
I just have to give it a look.
So there you go.
I'll look and listen.
Gonna listen.
Mhm. And then Roy, I was curious. Maybe
Yeah.
this was discussed in another episode, but how was the move?
Ugh.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
But,
God,
like-
guys.
For everyone at home, I moved from Fort Myers and I live in Durham. My wonderful wife got a job at Duke Health, and she's enjoying it so far. So hooray for everyone involved. So
Sweet.
we
Hey, can you have her send me her pharmacodynamics, pharmacokinetics?
yeah, we can talk
like-
about that not on the internet.
But I want that stuff, okay? Like,
Sure.
I can't keep it
So
myself.
Remind me all of your blood types.
yeah, and this is my childhood
Your
pet
social
growing
security
up,
number.
and
What
this
is
is
it?
my
Please
high
post
school.
it.
Yeah, exactly. So on Saturday, the 4th of October, I drove just under 13 hours in one day, 7 a.m. to 7:45 p.m. Left Fort Myers, drove up here, and like I mostly did the speed limit. I mean, there were a few times where I was cruising. Like I looked down, I was like, "Oh, I need to slow down right now." And like
To be fair, everyone wants to get out of South Carolina as fast as possible.
Oh my god, yes.
So that was actually a huge shock, right? So we were cooking, right? I got up to Jacksonville, and I thought it was like Jacksonville, boom, Georgia, and I was like, no, there's still like 30 friggin' minutes of Florida before I get out of fucking Florida. I was so annoyed. So we finally get into Georgia, and I was like, I need to walk around for a little bit. We finally get, we drive all the way up. I get to South Carolina, and I'm like, what is going on with this infrastructure or lack thereof? Because like every road had numerous, like it was insane. South Carolina, fix your shit.
Yep.
Finally got into North Carolina. The roads magically got better. Got to Durham. We got to the hotel, and Katie got out of the car, and I was like, I'm going to go park the car. And she said, okay, I'm not getting back in the car. And I said, totally understandable. So, we stayed in Durham the 5th through the 7th. place to live, moved a couple boxes in, etc. Blah blah blah, whatever. Hung out with Josh and his lovely family. Hung out with some other friends. It was a good time. The 8th, we flew home at 5 a.m. That was dumb. Never do that. Got to Fort Myers at 10 a.m. Did some more packing, like last minute, like packed the last TV, etc. Blah blah blah. Hung out with the family, had dinner, went back to the house in Fort Myers, fell asleep on the floor, woke up on Thursday, packed the truck, left Fort Myers at 6 p.m., got to Jacksonville at midnight, fell asleep, did the rest of the drive on Friday, the whatever day we're on, and then got up to Durham at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Josh came over. He brought beer. He was my hero.
I drank most of it.
And he did drink most of it. But him and his son helped us unpack the truck.
He drank the rest of it.
Yeah. And then we were just like, I promised everyone, I was like, I'll buy dinner. And I said, guys, I don't care if I have to walk to the pizza place and back, but I am not driving another friggin' mile. So we ended up going out. It was a good time. And basically 2 weeks after that, the week after that, Katie and I were just putting the house together. And do you know how many things require an Allen wrench to put together? Everything. Fucking everything. And I actually did some research, and the inventor of the Allen wrench invented it in 1902, and I hope that person's rotting in hell, because that
Edward James Allen.
It's a great freaking tool.
It is, except for the wrench part. And I don't understand why companies will design something to where you can't use the Allen wrench when that's the only thing you have to use to put, to screw the thing in. We put together 3 L-shaped shelves, like entire bed set, everything. Put everything together. It was, it was nuts. For the most part, we are, we're completely moved in. For the most part, we're completely set up. We have a couple of boxes here and there in each room. That's essentially like what are we going to do with these things? Like, we don't have a space. What are we doing with them? The last little bits, right?
Mm-hmm. Closet, forget about them.
Pretty much. At this point, it's just going to be like, all right, let's consolidate all this crap into one box and put it in the closet.
Yeah.
I meticulously planned out everything leading up to the move and the move itself. And I planned on, all right, we're going to get all this crap out of the truck. It's going to go in the house. And then
used Tinkercad to do it.
What? Yeah, Tinkercad. And then after that, I forgot to plan anything. So, we're in the house with a bunch of boxes going, fuck, what do we do now? So, yeah, that was fun. Overall, it was extraordinarily exhausting, mentally draining. Is not something that I really ever want to do again. And if we do, I hope to God that I'm rich enough to where I can just hire people and say, clean all this stuff up, bring it to that place. We'll see you in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the long and the short of it. It, I did a lot of things that I didn't think I could do, like drive 13 hours in one day and not go completely insane. Those last 2 hours, you're singing everything in the top of your lungs, just ba 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 ba, and it's just it's brutal. But loving Durham so far. This place rules. It's very eclectic and weird and great and awesome, and weird in the best possible way.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
What is the most fun thing you've encountered so far in Durham?
Is it the wheat?
What'd you say?
Is it the wheat?
It's the mustard.
The most fun, I will say, is driving on these wiggly ass roads. I don't think any road goes straight anywhere in the city. No.
Wait, is it one of those cities where it's wrapped around hills and whatnot?
Yeah.
It kind of is. It is if you're coming from Southwest Florida, where everything isn't
flat.
A grid. I mean,
Right.
Roy, you weren't far from a place called Rotunda West, right? Where
True.
they literally just named
It's
it
a
after
circle.
concentric circles of
Yeah.
roads. They made.
Exactly.
There's
So
no creativity there.
No.
In Durham,
Yeah.
What is the largest number of intersections you've been at while driving?
I think there's
Because a fun thing in St. Louis is that you have several places where there's actually a 5-way intersection.
There's several here that's 5 ways. I think one is called 5 Points.
Mhm.
And then there's a couple of other places that are, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, 5 intersections. There's
There's
more.
a few where Morgan Ford and Gravois come together in St. Louis.
There are more than a few left or right turns where you're not making a 90. You're making like, I don't know. This is like a. You're almost turning around backward to go left, onto the next road.
Have you come across people using, like, it's a thing here, using the turn lane just as a general traffic lane?
No, but that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, it's awful.
Okay, all right. What I've seen, like, something that blows my mind is they'll put an intersection or a light or a stop sign at the bottom or the top of a hill, so you have absolutely no way of seeing who's on either side of you. So it's very much a Jesus take the wheel, and I'm going to press on the gas real hard type of deal.
Roy, I think you should then be very careful of those places once winter hits.
Sorry?
FYI. Be very, because how many times have you had to drive winter roads?
Oh, never. So that being said, those intersections I try to make a mental note of, so I don't do that, so I don't go that way.
Yeah. Hello.
Like, that's the baby. I was like, whoa, okay.
Mm-hmm. Nope, that's a pterodactyl I'm also raising.
Oh, I thought someone was letting one loose, just into the microphone.
Wow, Dayton, are you gonna take this man saying that your newly born child sounds like a fart?
Yeah, why not? Anyways,
the squeaker.
Yeah, she's a little cutie. I mean, she probably did fart earlier, and it's probably in the recording.
But I mean, yes. Whenever winter comes, as far as I understand, if it does snow here, it doesn't last for very long.
No, but it's bad because there's no infrastructure and it gets icy.
Really? So they don't even sand them?
So the select roads they will.
Okay.
They'll take the salt solution, the saline type stuff, but only on some roads. If you look up, I think it was 2014. There was a huge snowstorm in Raleigh, and it generated kind of this image of all these cars backed up on the highway. 2 of them are on flames. Like, it became kind of the basis of a meme for a minute there. That's from
the 2014 snowpocalypse or Snowmageddon.
Snowpocalypse. Yeah, that's right. I thought they were 2 separate events. One was Snowpocalypse, one was Snowmageddon.
Yep.
But yeah. I mean,
it's bad.
Okay, yeah, I was curious about that because right, like from Idaho, they like teach you how to drive over black ice and whatnot. Is that the kind of town where it's not a bad idea to get stud tires?
I think that's probably illegal. Nah, I don't know. I think it would be overkill. Like last year it was definitely enough ice that it caused problems. The year before that wasn't too bad. It's more like people are not used to it, so all of a sudden they just kind of forget how to drive completely and probably should just stay home.
Yeah, and Roy, best tips I can give you is
stay home.
Just lay off the gas.
Yeah.
If you have to, lay off the gas.
Yeah.
If you fishtail, turn towards the turn. Turn towards the way that you're turning.
Yeah.
And if you just start to go, pressing on the gas is not going to help you. It's going to make it worse. You just have to coast, and if you hit something,
that's
I'm sorry.
The one thing I do remember from driver's ed. They really just glazed over it, and they're like, we have to go through this because it is driver's ed, but you're never going to encounter this. So,
Is it still the case with modern brakes that you need to tap out?
No, you don't need to pump the brakes out. That was pre-ABS.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, ABS or anti-lock brakes make it to where you no longer have to pump the brakes because, if you were to hit them too hard way back in the day, you could lock up your brakes, and so you had to kind of like tap on your brakes. No longer.
My first
ABS
car, I had to do that.
automatically deals with that.
I said my first car, I had to do that.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. But
Katie learned to drive in Chicago, so so she knows the things to do.
I'm sorry, I
Wait.
believe Chicago has a soundboard implement.
Dramatic piano.
Yes.
No. I don't want to turn this into the morning zoo crew podcast hour.
Perfect. Amazing.
Sparingly, a sprinkle of it.
She's kind of snoring. Let me see if she-
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to driving in ice and snow, but I know it'll happen eventually. So, we need to learn.
There is some good news though, and that is you're coming from the Gulf Coast of Florida, right? So
Yeah.
you get to act all superior when like a rainstorm comes in. Everybody's like freaking out and clearing the shelves of supplies, and you're like Florida man barbecuing in the storm.
Well, hey, thanks to climate change, you get to experience both.
Yeah, exactly.
Josh, for a
do you
second, I
drove
thought
me
you were going to
mad?
say, "You're in luck. Global warming will take care of that."
Yeah, right. Congrats! You will soon have beachfront property. So, that was actually something that surprised me because, one time I drove through a really heavy rainstorm in Virginia, and I'm assuming drivers are kind of similar between the two in terms of, do they activate their hazards in those
Everyone
big,
does.
heavy rainstorms? What? That's insane.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
do
state
that.
to state. The laws actually mandate different things. So in North Carolina, you're actually directed like to use them, even though you're moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to have learned that
Careful,
from the
it's
DMV
raining.
if I ever
No
got an appointment.
crap.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
Now, for North Carolina, in particular Durham, is there a specific culinary tradition that the city is known for?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well then, as you think about that, I do want to say, earlier when it was like about foods or whatnot, and I said the wheat, it's because it's a pun on the name of Durham. So
Durham.
it's Durham wheat.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I hate it.
Yeah.
You know
But-
what? That doesn't even
yeah.
deserve the drum.
Yeah, no, that needed to be just stated. I couldn't
Yeah.
let you just live your life without not knowing what I set up there. So, you're welcome.
Macaroni
And-
meat. Okay.
And on that note, I mentioned the mustard because that's the city
Mustard-based
logo.
barbecue.
Well, no. Well, there's that. But the city's logo, the bull, which is the name of the baseball team. If you've ever seen the movie Bull Durham, was filmed in Durham
of
about.
course.
Yeah. It comes from Coleman's mustard, which is made in England, in Durham, England. So
I see.
Amazing.
the town,
Incredible.
that's how they have the logo and all that because of the mustard in England.
I think I get along with you, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh,
Just based on this,
you have
interaction.
managed to retroactively give me the biggest wish for a ba-dum-ching, and impressive. I thank you for culturing me, a swine of St. Louis.
On mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, John, where are you going with this? I was getting worried for a second. I was like, you were being a little bit too harsh on yourself. I was like, are you okay, man?
Well, there just so happens to be a mustard connection with St. Louis because yellow mustard is originated at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. So there has
People just like, you know
traditionally
what?
been
I really hate
a lot
these
of
mustard seeds. Let me
mustard-based
just grind them up into
dishes
tiny
around here.
pieces. Let me just add a bunch of, what is it? Cumin and paprika?
Those are things.
Why
I
you?
forget what helps bring out the yellow color,
that I don't know.
Oh.
right? Because it's like if you just mash up straight mustard seeds, it's more of like a tan, right? So it's like, what is it that kind of brings out that really bright yellow?
Yellow number 3.
That's a possibility.
I mean,
Wow.
All right, fine. Googling that in the meantime.
all right, well, you look that up.
Sometimes I choose foods based solely on how they act as a vehicle, a delivery vehicle for mustard. It's really just
really?
the mustard I want. Yeah.
Well, if your
Mm-hmm.
if your fave is French's, it is in fact a St. Louis original.
I
From the
think I
fair.
might have known that. That makes sense.
Like if you
I
have
suppose-
if you have a really good mustard but a bad pretzel, you'll just keep eating the pretzel for good mustard. Because
Yeah.
Yes,
I do that.
absolutely.
Do that all the time.
A bad
Yeah.
pretzel, but with
Yeah.
good beer cheese or
Mhm.
mustard. Sure, I got to keep going.
But
I
Mostly
will
German
say,
in me.
having a baby, I can no longer, or like, yes, I had the baby. No,
All right.
raising a baby.
Dayton, you were
I
correct. I'm sorry. It is turmeric that brings out the yellow.
Ah,
A
I
natural
don't think
dye.
I said turmeric. I think I said cumin and. Did I actually say turmeric?
I thought you said
Whatever,
turmeric.
This
Just
is recorded,
Take
so yeah.
take the W on that
Sure.
one.
listeners, tell us who's right.
I mean, I guess I could always just when I go back and listen, and I'll just like insert like right here, like Dayton was right, whatever.
Oh my
That's
goodness!
perfect.
So French's was sold to J.J. Coleman of the United Kingdom.
There's the connection right there.
Shazam.
Where else are you going to get this hard-hitting mustard research on the spot, folks?
Amazing. Oh shoot, dude. Like we're gonna. Oh, what was I gonna say? Well, actually, I don't know. It could gross people out.
Oh,
Okay.
Go with it. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I can no longer do whole grain mustard after now I've raised a baby.
Oh.
Yep.
I see now
It
the
clicks.
predicament.
Yep.
Do you think after
just like
enough
it.
years,
Just like it.
after enough time, do you think that will recede?
Who knows? I mean, who knows? As the universe may, I will not. What is it? I will not state a direct yes or no. I just absolutely, for the time being, no.
To go back to the original question of what culinary aspect is Durham known for, Josh, you were telling me something about Durham and coffee, right? Something.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely got like a coffee scene. They had the World Barista Championship here this past year. There's a local roaster that wins a bunch of like international awards and stuff. So it's I don't know if I would like characterize Durham by the coffee, but that's certainly a kind of a prominent feature of it in terms of food and that.
Pike's Durham place. All right.
Pikes, yeah, exactly. Counterculture is probably the biggest one here, and I know you can get counterculture like
okay.
in Publix or wherever
Yeah.
else.
I looked up, like what is Durham, North Carolina known for food wise into Google, and I just got like the southern stuff, fried chicken, grits, chicken and waffles, barbecue, etc. Nothing that's like you have to try. It's not like Chicago deep dish or Chicago dog or pizza or anything like that. It's nothing that's kind of like
Gross Italian food. Just kidding.
I gotta say, as a Missourian, people typically think, like, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, you're a Southern state. You weren't a Midwest state," and I was like, "No. That is one of the rare times you are incorrect because we do not really have a grits tradition, and I think that is one of the things that separates us from being a Southern state and a Midwesterner." So my question is, do any of you guys actually really have a hankering for grits?
No.
Sometimes.
Unless I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I made shrimp and grits last weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, here and there.
Okay.
I'm
I have had a shrimp etouffee with grits that I thought was very good, but that is like along with something. I just have never really liked grits on their own.
I like grits, but I am kind of scared to try the seafood here because they keep saying like it's fresh salmon, and I'm like that's impossible. Like where from where? Like did someone raise it in a pool nearby? Because like I just don't I don't understand.
I would love to see that in North Carolina. A salmon farm in the mountains.
Have any of you ever actually been to a fish farm?
Yes. Well,
I have before. There's a few catfish farms in, I guess that would be out past Cuba, Missouri.
How bad does it smell, or does it not smell at all? I don't know. I would be surprised if it didn't smell at all.
I wouldn't say it smells all that funky.
Okay.
I mean, I think the biggest issue that can happen is like if you get like with any running stream, any sort of algae blooms, then
Right.
immediately like has a certain, I don't know,
Right.
That's the only stink I think of, because I went when there was a little bit of an algae bloom, so I can't fully say.
Right. I mean, like, there's a smell and then there's a stank. And if it's stanky, then get me the hell away. But if it just if it just smells like fish, then I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I think there's this smell. I don't think it's awful. Like, also, I do need to eat some crow because I laughed about, fish farm and
Mhm.
the mountains. I was like, again, coming from Idaho, there are literal salmon farms.
Right.
But normally where it's like, yeah, they raise the young and then they try and get them out to the ocean. Yeah, I think from what I remember as a kid going to them, whatnot, like they smell like fish, maybe kind of like sometimes like a outdoors store when you kind of go like where all the uh, baits are or whatnot. Like,
Hmm.
kind of has a little bit of that smell to it. But yeah, it's
I also
kinda
like
cool.
I had sushi yesterday, and that's where like all this like where is this coming from? Because it says fresh crab, and I'm like that crab doesn't grow in a river, and so it's just like just
Oh
a little,
gosh,
yeah,
do you want to hear a kind of a snobby story?
yes,
I'm just gonna say it.
yeah,
All right, so there was like in Thomasville, not too far
Mhm.
north from Tallahassee. There was like this, maybe it's still there, seafood restaurant that everyone was raving about. So Beck and I one time went up there, and it had on the menu Idaho River trout.
Oh,
And I was like, really? Idaho River trout? So I was like, okay, I guess I have to. And so then, and this place, honestly, it was like trying to be kind of bougie. So I was like,
Mhm.
so I got a bit of a bougie question. Actually, yes, the waitress is like, just to be like kind of a dick, but I was also curious. What river did this come from in Idaho? And of course, this poor waitress had no idea. And she's like, I don't even think there's anyone in here who could answer that, I think was her response. And I was like, do you know what? I respect that. And
it's
I
just
still ate it.
it's
It's
just
funny.
generic white fish or something, probably.
I know, right? But no,
It's
trout's good.
tilapia.
No, it's not. Honestly, I don't think it tastes the same. I think trout does have its own kind of like, uh, yeah, I can't describe the flavor. Like, it is
Yeah, just like
fish.
trout.
Like, there's the fish flavor, but it's like, I think it is kind of different.
Yeah, for sure.
I will fight you on this hill. Anyways.
Well, folks, turns out there's a Taylor Fish Farms that's not too far away from Durham, North Carolina, up to the northwest. If you were to go
Let's
Are you
see.
giving me fucking
Just a
homework?
flurry.
Cedar Grove,
Just a flurry of
Uh,
typing.
as if you were going to Greensboro, you hang a quick right over towards Arrowhead on 86,
Oh, this isn't that far, Roy.
and you make it to Taylor Fish Farm.
You can make a
Fish
trip
farm.
out of it.
Okay.
You absolutely can,
Wait,
and you can
ask
stock
for a
pond
tour.
full
Hold
of
on.
their fantastic
what is this called?
bluegill
What is this called?
Taylor Fish Farm. Good fellow.
Which
Or you
all
can
the
just
way-
go to carolinafishhatchery.com. And they got red ear sunfish, channel catfish, fathead minnows if you need to
Stop that
feed others. That's carp, ornament koi, or gambusia, which I've
Are we-
learned.
Are we sponsored by
It's
Taylor
mosquito
Fish
fish.
Farm? I'm now
No.
really curious about this.
Nor have they asked for my endorsement. They could be terrible. Who knows?
But there's a cheese manufacturer up there. That sounds a lot more fun.
Visit Cedar Grove, North Carolina. And with that, hold on, guys. I think my girlfriend's here, and unfortunately, she brought me just grits
All right.
for dinner.
Well, we're going to let you go eat your grits, and we'll be back in a moment.
Enjoy that.
Have fun.